Welcome to my channel. In today's class we will discuss about calls in arrears and a problem on calls in arrears. Calls in arrears means when the shareholder fails to make any amount due on allotment or any of the calls, such amount is known as calls in arrears or unpaid calls. And the journal entry for this one is calls in arrears account debtor to share first call account debtor to share second and final call account. That is narration is this journal entry is for the calls in arrears brought into account. Then when the shareholder makes the payment of the calls in arrears together with interest, the entry will be bank account debtor to calls in arrears account to interest account. Okay, then we will move on to one problem relating to the calls in arrears. Here the Chronic Limited issued 10,000 equity shares of 10 each, rupees 10 each, payable at 2.5 on application, 3 on allotment and 2 on first call, and the balance 2.5 on second and final call. All the shares were fully subscribed and paid except of a shareholder having 100 shares who could not pay for the second and final call. That is 100 shares is the calls in arrears relating to the second and final call. Give the journal entries to record these transactions. So for solving the problem, we have to first write the heading, that is books of Chronic Limited, then journal, then the format of journal, date, particulars, ledger folio, debit amount, credit amount. The first entry relating to the application money received, that will be bank account debtor to share application account. Here 1000 shares, application money for 1000 shares is received and per share value is 2.5. So 10,000 into 2.5 will give 25,000 debit and 25,000 credit. Narration will be money received on application for 10,000 shares at rupees 2.5 per share. Then this application money is transferred to share capital. Then the journal entry is equity share application account debtor to share capital account. Transfer of application money on 10,000 shares to share capital. The same amount is that 25,000 debit and 25,000 credit. Then the entry relating to allotment, that is due on allotment. Journal entry relating to the allotment due. This equity share allotment account debtor to share capital. Then the allotment of 10,000 shares at rupees 3 per share. 10,000 into 3 will give 30,000. 30,000 debit and 30,000 credit. The narration will be amount due on allotment of 10,000 shares at rupees 3 per share. Then all allotment amount is received. The journal entry for this is bank account debtor to share allotment account. Allotment money received. Amount will be 30,000 debit and credit. Then entry relating to share first call account. Share first call account debtor to share capital account. The first call money due on 10,000 shares. The value of the first call money is rupees 2 per share. Then 10,000 into 2 will give 20,000 debit and 20,000 credit. Then all the amount first call money is received. Then the narration, the journal entry relating to this will be bank account debtor to share first call account. Narration will be first call money received 20,000. Amount is 20,000. Then relating to the final and second call money due. The journal entry is share second and final call account debtor to share capital account. The amount will be the right is 2.5 per share. Number of shares is 10,000. So 2.5 into 10,000 gives 25,000 debit and 25,000 credit. Then the amount all the shares is received in the first, second and final call except for 100 shares. So the narration will be bank account debtor calls in arrears account debtor to share second and final call account. Here bank account amount will be relating to the amount of the shares except the 100 shares. So total number of shares is 10,000. 10,000 minus 100 will be 9,900. Then the amount per share value is 2.5. So 9,900 into 2.5 gives amount 24,750. Then our total amount will be 25,000. That we have already written. Due on the second final call amount is 25,000. We have to write it in the credit side, 25,000. Then 25,000 minus 24,750 will give 250. That is calls in arrears. We have not received the calls in arrears amount. That amount is 250. Then narration will be final call money received except that on 100 shares. Thank you. That's all for today.